And then after the break, Tony was there with Britt Baker and Reba and Jamie, and they talked about Thunder Rosa. And I wrote, Shivani's got to be triplets at this point.
You know what, though? Shivani should do this role. I don't know if we're not seeing Marvez just because it's football season and that's his shoot job. Not that he's not making lots of AEW money. But Shivani should be doing the backstage interviews because he adds nothing on commentary. And actually, I think things would be better right now. Jim Ross was a lot better on Dynamite than he was on the pay-per-view.
He sounded, I wrote this somewhere, I think later on in the last match, but he was actually excited some. And you can tell also I can tell sometimes by silences because I've announced with JR for literally hundreds of hours of television that JR and I have done. I'm not exaggerating that. And sometimes when I hear him when he's not saying anything, it's like he's trying to think, oh my God, I don't know what to say about what I'm looking at. Possibly I'll just lay out, that type of thing. But it would be helpful if you had JR and then you had excrement to fill in the names of all the holes that
he's their
nobody
lead guy.
gives a shit
Whatever
about.
we want to say about him, he is their lead guy and probably the most important guy for them right now. And I think Jim Ross is the name and the voice, and not to take anything away from him, but he's going through radiation treatment. I know people younger than him, and I know people older than him who have gone through it, and it's not easy for anyone.
Yeah.
So his energy, I would think, unless Jim Ross is superhuman, his energy is going to be zapped for a while, and I just don't think Shivani yelling words and telling you how excited he is to be alive and be in AEW is going to help. I think if you have Excalibur for his role, again, not my choice, but he's their guy.
Yeah.
Jim Ross to do the rest, you need someone who could actually add something and tie everything together. Taz is an interesting pick because Taz is great on the mic, or great on commentary. He's worked with Excalibur. Him and Jim Ross, at least on air, they have great chemistry, I think.
Yeah. Taz
would be a pick. I think there's various people that could be a pick, but I think get Shivani off commentary and make him just the guy doing the promos in the ring and backstage, because that's actually something he's better at.
Plus, it would bring a little more youth to the situation, because we talked about the announce team in AEW is the same age as my announce team was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. The champions, at least when the Hardley Boys and Twinkle Toes were the champions are older than my champions were in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, including the Rock and Roll Express. There's like 2 or 3 years difference between them and the Bucks. That's the thing is, JR is the legend announcer. So Tony automatically got dropped down to a secondary place in the pecking order because you can only have one legend. But do you need 2 legends on the same broadcast team? So you're right, maybe better off doing the interviews. And plus he's the one that's in the best shape. And also you never see excrement out from behind the desk. So I'm wondering if something's happened, does he not wear pants, or what's going on with him? But he's not ambulatory to get in the ring. So anyway,